Okay, this is the gubernatorial gallery. He was first elected to his first public office in 1966. So he served 2 terms as governor of California, and you can see some of the accomplishments. One of the things that they talk about is protecting the environment. There's a lot of things that he did that people don't really realize today. So it's great, obviously supporting education, shrinking government, and then of course reforming welfare. This is actually his working notebook, so to speak, where he would write things down that he had either written or he had heard that would be good in a future speech. And so these are the actual note cards that he had, and he would refer to them when he was trying to prepare for remarks or addressing a group or even a major speech. But that's how he did it. In 1976, he runs against Gerald Ford, the incumbent Republican president, and loses the nomination. But back in 1980, he decides to run again because of all the difficult things that are happening. We have high unemployment, high interest rates, people are down and out. There's this malaise, as Jimmy Carter would say. And Ronald Reagan comes in and says, I'm going to solve this. So he announces his candidacy for the presidency of the United States. And lo and behold, in November of 1980, he wins. This is one of the debates he had with President Carter.
Than you were 4 years ago. Is it easier for you to go and
that line, are you better off than you were 4 years ago, is credited as one of the more important lines because it's simple. Am I better off or not? Most people said they weren't. They voted for Ronald Reagan.
사랑하는 국민 여러분, 지금까지 저에 대해서 많은 것들을 아껴주셨던 여러분의 사랑과 관심을 오늘 저는 진심으로 감사하다는 말씀을 드리고 싶습니다. 그리고 여러분에게 한 가지 확실하게 말씀드릴 수 있는 것은 앞으로도 완소LA는 여러분의 웃음과 재미와 여러분의 활력소가 될 수 있는 좋은 프로그램이 될 수 있다고 그렇게 할 것이라고 이 시간 여러분에게 말씀을 드립니다. 이상입니다.
On March 30th, 1981, the president was to give a speech at the Washington Hilton. He gives a speech, he's exiting out the back door, and
It's 81, right? 1981.
March 30th, 1981. That's when John Hinckley attempted to assassinate the President of the United States. But as we all know, the President lived, okay? But what they didn't know is when, after the original 6 shots rang out, they didn't know that he was hit. The Secret Service agent, Jerry Parr, shoves him into the limousine, hops on top of him to protect him, okay? The President says, "Get off, Jerry, you're hurting me." So he gets up and he's holding his ribs. He thought that Jerry had broken his rib, okay? So the limousine is speeding back towards the White House. The President coughs and he coughs up blood. Jerry Parr says, "Turn this thing around, we're going to the hospital right away," okay? So they storm to the hospital. The President gets out under his own power, walks to the door. As soon as he gets in, he collapses. At this point in time, they still don't know if the President has been shot. They just think that he broke a rib or something bad, okay? So it wasn't until a little bit later, and the reason they didn't realize that is because the bullet, see the limousine there, it ricochets off of the limousine door, and instead of a cylinder, it flattens out like a dime, and it slices through his rib cage, tumbles within a quarter of an inch of his heart, and you can see it right there. So it wasn't until later in the in the examination room that they find that it's a slit, and they realize, oh my gosh, the president has been shot.
Wow.
Right. This is the actual suit that he wore, brand new suit, never worn it before. Okay, and they have to rip it off him. Okay, this is the type of gun that the assailant used.
Is that true? The murderer, he tried to kill the Reagan. He loved the Jodie Foster. Is real?
Oh yeah. That's the way that he wanted to impress Jodie Foster. So that's why he did it. Okay.
아니 그
Yes, he's in jail.
이 암살을 하려고 했던 그 살인범이 영화 배우잖아요. 조디 포스터한테 관심을 끌기 위해서 이런 짓을 했대요. 야, 진짜. 근데 다행히 심장을 벗어나서.
This is the Oval Office. Okay, so if you come in here. This is the actual size of a real Oval Office. And what was interesting is when they were building the building, the architect said, Mr. President, we can't put a full-size Oval Office in here. And the reason is because it sticks up too tall and it would affect the outside architecture. And they said, we can't do it. And the president said, well, just dig a hole. So that's why we went down, so they could do it. Yeah. But that's the epitome of Ronald Reagan. Common sense, well, just dig a hole. The architects were too cerebral, I guess. They couldn't realize that. So now we have a full-scale Oval Office.
여기가 실제 대통령 집무실 그대로 만들어놨대요. 근데 야, 확실하게 좀 웅장한